Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Live from iRacing's virtual Lånkebanen, we say good evening, all sim racing fans, and welcome to the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Qualifying Series presented by Yokohama Tires. Welcome everyone here to virtual Lånkebanen. I'm your host Joshua Lee. Alongside me in the commentary booth is Dane Baird with our producer Mark Tranter down in the virtual production trailer. And Dane, we are at the only purpose-built rallycross course scanned into the iRacing service, and at a pivotal point in the campaign for the qualifying series, round number 4. 3 rounds left before we see those 18 drivers that'll be moving on to the World Championship Series in Charlotte at round 7. But we are officially halfway done with this qualifying season, and there's still some very fast drivers that need to make it above that top 18 cut line.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely crunch time now in the championship, if it wasn't already after the first couple of rounds. But yeah, we've seen some great racing so far, and Lånkebanen is a bit of a weird circuit here at iRX. Obviously the only purpose-built circuit, so it's going to be very different to all of the other circuits. That's a given. But yeah, it's a very odd circuit. It's got some quirks to it, but yeah, the drivers, it's probably one of the least favorite circuits for most of the drivers. I kind of like it. It looks nice. It drives pretty well for hot lapping, but in racing situations it can get a bit tight.
And we get started with qualifying here, and you can take a look at Jacob Raffus in the Set Esports Subaru, and everybody going to be trying to take that turn 4 corner as tight as they possibly can and gain as much time as they can on the track. And Connor Parise putting in the first qualifying time of 39.963. As we take a look at Jacob Raffus getting a good slingshot into his first flying lap out here on the track. And you'll also notice, because we are over here in Europe, it was the same thing with Brands Hatch, same thing here at Lånkebanen. The Joker lap is not a shortcut, it is a long cut, so to speak, a long way round for that Joker lap. So instead of gaining time, these drivers are going to be losing time. So that's going to affect the Joker lap strategy, as we've been talking about all season.
Yep, so it's very different strategy-wise compared to a shortcut. Of course, you're going to be ending up somewhere behind you when you come out of the Joker, instead of taking the shortcut and coming out in front of where you are before. So it's very different in terms of Joker strategy. And yeah, we'll have to see some interesting things. This circuit's very difficult to overtake on circuit. Most of the rallycross circuits are, to be fair, but this one especially, mostly one line through every single corner here, especially here at turn 4. Really only one line, and that's get as much of your car onto that curb as possible without going too far over it and getting a slowdown. That slowdown there is huge. I would probably bet that most of the overtakes we see today are going to be from drivers cutting turn 4 too much over that curb, getting a nasty slowdown, having to slow right down and lose a good couple of seconds. I think it might be 3 or 4 seconds that slowdown. It's a hideous slowdown here as we watch Josh Edmondson. He hasn't taken too much curb on the entry. You'll see quite a few different lines taken through there, but all of them trying to maximize time on that curb.
As we go on board with Edmondson, he is one of those drivers outside looking in when it comes to the cut line, currently sitting in 20th, but he's only 2 points back from Kurt Crum, who currently holds that bubble line at 18th, and it's going to be 9th place for Josh Edmondson for the moment here, and it looks like he's going to park that Jim Beaver Esports Subaru onto the side. That'll be the end of his qualifying efforts. Tony Ladimaki, Black Star Racing, he's also looking for some good results. He's currently in 12th, a good amount good to the cut line, about 70 points good to the cut line, so he's looking for some consistency. Jacob Raff's going to hop up into 5th as all 10 drivers now have put down at least one time here in qualifying. Rasmus Tuominen currently at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to the point standings. Bo Albert also up there. Same thing with Otto Toskinen, Luis Nunez, Killian Delalmo, all within that cut line. So as of right now, it's just Vicente Salas and Josh Edmondson, the only 2 drivers that are not above that cut line so far here in the top split. But speaking of Rasmus Tuominen, he'll be in heat number 2. Killian Delalmo going to sit on the pole here for heat number 1. Luis Nunez starts to his outside. Jacob Raffus, Vicente Salas, and Connor Parise rounding out the top 5 for this first heat. The other 5 drivers will be racing out of heat number 2. So Parise going to take to the grid. So the other 4 drivers, 4 Subarus, 1 VW Beetle, as the Logitech G Altus Esports crew have taken the VW Beetle choice here for Lånkebanen. We'll see if that is going to affect the speed of those drivers as we get ready to grid up. Connor Parise currently on the grid, waiting for the other 4 to take to the track. As Parise currently sits in the point standings, he's looking to keep that momentum up and get above of that cut line. He's currently sitting in 27th right now. A good solid way to go to 18th for Connor Parise. He could use a good day here. 6.8k, that's strength of field, the average I rating in this field, and that just goes to show how good these drivers are up here in the top split. We get ready to go racing, waiting on the remaining 4 drivers to take to the grid. Killian Delalmo is going to lead this field down into turn number 1. Luis Nunez will follow. Jacob Raffus, Vicente Salas, Connor Parise, all ready to go here in heat number 1. The lights come up, the engines are revving, we get ready to go racing. It's 5 red lights, and the green lights come on. We are underway. Heat number 1 from Lånkebanen. Contact already. Parise gonna get pushed into the wall. Parise gonna shove Killian Delalmo into the Joker lane, or he pushed Jacob Raffas into the Joker lane. It's Delalmo, it's Salas, it's Nunez staying out onto the racetrack. Killian Delalmo with a great start. Vicente Salas up 2 spots. Nunez falls 1 as Raffas and Connor Parise race out of the Joker lane. Loose going into the corner is Luis Nunez. He's gonna have to check up to avoid hitting the barriers. They've finished lap 1.
I think Rafos got a slowdown, or there was some more contact between them because he ended up losing a lot of time through turn 4. Might have got that terrible slowdown I was talking about and finally allowed Parisi through. There's sort of an unspoken rule here at Hell Rallycross. If you're on that outside line, you go to the joke lane on lap 1, because if you've got a driver behind you who wants to do it, they're going to go through the back of you. That's exactly what happened between Rafos and Parisi here.
Here's the replay. Oh, it did look like he got a little bit too much on that curb, and he also spun around, and he had to check up severely. So it doesn't. He might have gotten a slowdown from that too, Dane, but mainly just trying to avoid shoving himself into that wall. As we take a look at Luis Nunez, currently 3rd right now. There's your leader, Killian Delalmo, as we go on to lap number 3. He's still not going to elect to take the Joker. Neither will Vicente Salas for Elliott Sadler Esports behind him. Luis Nunez going to stay out on the track as well. So it's only Parisi and Rafos who have currently jokered. Luis Nunez setting a best lap of the race last time by 36.52 seconds. He's looking to keep up that momentum and race up with these drivers for the lead of heat number 1. But they're going to come to 2 to go this time by. And Delalmo going to slide himself into the final corner. And he'll keep the lead. We'll see if he's going to joker this time by or save it for that last lap.
We're being told that the Joker Delta is a loss of between 3 and 4 seconds in the Joker. So it looks like Nunez will be ahead of Delalmo if Delalmo goes into that Joker. And that's exactly what Delalmo doesn't need. That's why he hasn't chosen to take it yet. Is because if he goes there, gets held up by Nunez, then Salas might be able to gain some time in the clear air and then overtake him when he ends up going through the Joker. But they're all going to have to take it on this last time as they come towards and start the white flag lap in this heat number 1. But that's the reason why they haven't been taking the Joker, is that they want to keep in the clear air that all 3 of them currently have.
There's the Joker lane as we go on board with Delalmo. Salas in as well, so is Nunez. Those 3 go into the Joker. Parisi and Rafos going to gain a bit of time. Will any overtakes happen? No, they won't. Nunez barely comes out in front of Connor Parisi. Here's the battle now for 3rd as they work their way through. Remember, the top 2 will work their way into the feature race. The remaining drivers will have to race out of the Consolation to see where they will start in that feature. Everybody will make it into the feature in this split. And as they work their way through the final 2 corners, it is all Killian Delalmo and Set Esports getting a good start here to round number 4 of the qualifying series campaign. It's Salas, it's Nunez, it's Parisi, and it's Rafos rounding out the 5 drivers who took the green flag here in heat number 1. Taking a look at those heat results, remember, top 2 advanced automatically to the feature. The remaining 3 will race in the Consolation to see where they will start. They still will make it into the feature, just determining where they will start in the feature based off of that Consolation. Now, heat number 2, ready to go. Is the starting grid up on your screen now? It's Tuominen and Toskinen starting on the front row. It's Albert, Laudemaki, and Edmondson that round out the top 5 here in heat number 2. Ready to see who's going to join the other 2 drivers from heat number 1 automatically into the feature, and who's going to join the other 3 in the Consolation. All 5 drivers on the grid. The lights come up and we get ready to go racing for the second and final heat of the day. All 5 red lights are up and they are out. Let's go racing here in heat 2. It's a great start on the inside from Rasmus Tuominen trying to keep that spot. And there goes Bo Albert into the Joker. Nobody else gonna join him. It's Tuominen, Toskinen, Laudemaki, and Edmondson. They go battling into the corner and contact. Edmondson gonna send Laudemaki up the track and he's gonna take over P3. Toskinen gonna now fight from second. He dives to the bottom of the racetrack in turn 4, trying to take the spot away from Tuominen, but he gets held up. Tuominen gonna keep the lead. Toskinen, Edmondson, Laudemaki, and Albert the top 5.
That was seriously poor decision making by everybody other than Bo Albert, because they were holding each other up massively on this first lap. Albert's already caught up. Look at that. He's already within 2 seconds of Laudemaki and Edmondson, and he's 3 seconds behind Toskinen. He could end up in the lead of this race at this point when everyone else goes to take their Jokers. He's done a fantastic job there with everyone else holding each other up on that first lap. Laudemaki nowhere to be seen as he exits the Joker.
Laudemaki Jokers, he is in 5th, a solid roughly about 2.5 seconds back from 4th place Bo Albert, so he's going to be stuck there in 5th unless he can catch up and make on-track passes. Here's Tuomanen, your race leader. Otto Toskinen right behind him. Unchanged, the top 2 of this race. Edmondson up to 3rd with that move on Lånkebanen before he went into the Joker lane. Edmondson stays on the track. He does not Joker. Actually, he does. He does come into the Joker lane. Bo Albert going to go right on by. Edmondson going to fall into 4th. Lånkebanen going to stay in 5th. A disastrous heat for Tony Lånkebanen. A good heat so far from Edmondson. If he can keep up this on-track speed, he might be looking at a top 2 finish for the first time in a heat race this season. Tuomanen and Toskinen, the only 2 that still need to come into the Joker lane. Can Bo Albert make a move through the Joker? When Tuomanen and Toskinen come in, it's 2 to go. Tuomanen gonna stay on the racetrack. Does Toskinen follow? Yes, he does. They both will take the Joker on the last lap. Albert needs to catch up as much time as he possibly can now.
With an average of 3.5 seconds through the Joker so far, he might come out alongside, which wouldn't be ideal for him because he'll have the outside line heading through turn 2 if he does end up coming out side by side with them. He's had a good run through turn 4. That's probably the most difficult corner on the circuit, the easiest place to lose time. Coming through the final corner now, the 2 in front of him will go to the Joker and we'll see whereabouts he comes out.
Fastest lap of the race set for Tuomanen, 36.333. Never mind, there goes Bo Albert, 36.153. Is he going to take the lead off the Joker? Where's Tuomanen coming out? They're side by side. Bo Albert has to give way. He gives a shot to Rasmus Tuomanen in the set Esports number 7. They go fighting into turn 4. Contact made. Off the track goes Tuomanen. Here comes Toskinen in a second. Bo with the contact made in turn 4. Bo Albert is going to move his way to the lead for Logitech G-Altus Esports, looking for another heat win here on the qualifying series season, and he's gonna get it. It's Bo Albert winning Heat 2 from hell. It's Toskinen. Tuomanen will come home 3rd. Edmondson, Lånkebanen round out the 5 cars. And we head into the Consolation, and Tuomanen goes from hero to 0. He's starting 2nd in the Consolation. Dane, what a heat that was.
Absolutely, I told you he was going to come out very close, and he did. He came out side by side, just on the outside, wasn't able to get anything into turn 2, but then into turn 4, send it up the inside. There was a small amount of contact that I think was over-exaggerated by some netcode there, to be honest, but then, yeah, unfortunately sent Tuomanen a little bit wide, and he got demoted down to 3rd, but yeah, great racing between the 3 of them.
So here we go. There's the lineup for the Consolation. Another 5-lap race before we go racing for 10 laps in the feature tonight. Nunez starts on the pole. Tuomanen, Parise, Edmondson, Rafus, Lånkebanen. Lights come up, and we put them out. We are racing in the Consolation. Winner will start in 5th for the feature. Who's gonna Joker here on the first lap? Edmondson is in. Same, actually, that's Connor Parise that goes in. That's Tony Lånkebanen that go in. Staying out is Tuomanen. Ahead of Nunez, Rafus, Edmondson, the top 4. They race through down the hill into turn number 4. What is Nunez gonna do? Is he gonna try and take the lead early? Tuomanen gonna command the race, but here comes Nunez to the bottom. They slam into each other. They are side by side. Nunez has to give way to Rasmus Tuomanen, who's gonna keep the lead coming through the final corner. They're still beating and bang as they go on to lap 2.
Oh, and up the inside there. That was a huge lunge up the inside, and oh, massive contact. Tuomanen took the middle line through the corner. Nunez wanted to go to the Joker, and they just collect each other, and even more contact now. I think that's Lånkebanen there making contact with Tuomanen. Huge damage to the back of that car now. I think that might be his chances of getting into a top spot pretty much over. He didn't go through the Joker either, so that time he's lost is purely on track, and Nunez there, maybe a little bit of payback for the contact earlier on in the lap, but I think he was just going for the Joker there.
This was the disastrous race that Tuomanen did not want. Now, just to give a little bit of backstory, Rasmus Tuomanen currently leads the point standings. Kevin Ellis Jr., who is racing, I believe, in the 3rd or 4th split of the qualifying series, he has won every single feature race so far this season. If he gets a 4th here, and Tuomanen cannot respond, we're going to see Kevin Ellis Jr. take the lead of the point standings, and contact now as Tuominen tries to get past Edmondson. Edmondson goes to shut the door. It's successful for the moment. Here comes Tuominen making a look back to the bottom. Not going to be able to work as they'll take the white flag this time by. Actually, they're going to 2 to go. This time by going on to lap number 4. Nunez sets the best lap of the race. It's still Rafus out in front, but he still needs the Joker as Tuominen and Edmondson continue to fight it out. Edmondson stays out on the racetrack. Tuominen into the Joker lane. That's going to make a worse race for him as he is now 4 seconds back from 5th place. So Rafus still needed a Joker here on the last lap. He will come in this time by. There's Parise, currently sitting in 2nd. Jim Beaver Esports Subaru. As Rafus is going to slide into the Joker, he goes way wide, getting a great move through. That might be a slowdown. Did he cut it a little bit too close? It's not going to matter as Parise, they'll come out side by side. Rafus having the bottom advantage. Getting stuck in the middle now. It's Parise. Nunez to the back bumper into turn 4. Is Parise going to try anything? He sends it down to the bottom. So does Nunez trying to get around the corner. They car bang going into the third section. It's all going to be Jacob Rafus. Connor Parise making a last-minute effort. Rafus goes wide. He's going to have to give way. Here comes Nunez to the bottom. 3 wide through the final corner. And it's Nunez that is going to come home with the win in the Consolation. Parise and Rafus come home 2nd and 3rd. What a finish to the Consolation.
What a move by Nunez there up the inside to the final corner. He saw that opportunity, the other two door banging through that final corner, pushing each other wide, and he said, oh, I'll take the inside, I'll take the run. The inside there is so grippy. If you can get a couple wheels onto that dirt on the inside, super grippy on the inside, and yeah, use that to his full advantage. That was an awesome finish to the Consolation.
That was a World Championship move there from Luis Nunez. For Logitech G Altus Esports, he'll start in 5th for this feature race. It's DeLalmo and Albert on the front row, your 2 heat winners. Then Salas and Toskinen, your 2 heat 2nd place finishers. Then it's the exact finishing order of the Consolation. Nunez, Parise, Rafus, Latimaki, Edmondson, Tuominen. The entire grid is set. It's time to go racing in the feature. The lights come up, and they will go green. Let's go racing. Feature time from Lånkebanen. All 10 cars race down into turn number 1. Who's going to Joker immediately? 2 Jim Beaver Esports cars go in. 1 Black Star Racing driver. 1 Logitech G Altus Esports driver as well goes in. Contact made. Down on the inside. That's Bo Albert. He collides with 2 Set Esports cars. He collided with Tuominen. He's still side by side with Tuominen. Tuominen sends it to the bottom. He makes contact with his teammate Rafus. Rafus back into the guardrail, but they all keep it straight going through the dirt section as DeLalmo leads the way. It's Toskinen, Anna, Tuominen, Rafus, and Bo Albert, your top 5 at the end of lap 1.
Some seriously heavy contact racing here on the first lap of the race. Loads of drivers taking the Joker. We'll see just who did take to the Joker as their crowns on the timing tower update. You see everyone with an illuminated crown. They've taken the Joker already, so half the grid. A lot more drivers than I was expecting. Usually we only see 2 or 3 on the first lap here at Hell takes the Joker for the first time by, but with 9 laps left to go, we'll have to see how those Jokers play into the strategy of things throughout the rest of the race. That might be a slowdown there for Rafus as he pulls off to the outside of the circuit. He does have a slowdown after cutting turn 4.
Oh, more contact and around into the grass. That's Luis Nunez.
Oh, and Rafus as well. Rafus has had some contact in the final corner. He's into the wall. He might even retire from the race after that.
Making a dive to the inside, closing the doors, Parise. That's Vicente Salas trying to make a move back there from 6th place as they work their way now through the 2nd corner. Right to the back bumper of Parise goes Salas. They're battling for 5th place. They're looking off the back of the Jim Beaver Esports. Number 6, a car, Parise. Right down to the inside goes Salas. He's going to cut that corner. He got slowed down. He pulls out to the side. Tony Latimaki will take over 6th place, and Salas falls to 7th.
I told you a couple of drivers would be cutting that a little bit too much. It's so unpredictable. It's just the way that you hit it on initial entry, they hit that big curve, they can send the car all sorts of different directions, and it really comes down to the skill, the control of the car, and so you can actually keep it in the right place and not go straight over it and get that slowdown. It's a really risky move to get all up over it, but you can see some of the drivers pulling it off to absolute perfection here. in these opening few laps. Delormo not extending his lead. Taskinen has been catching him over the last couple of laps, very slowly though.
So the drivers who still need to joker up at the front of this field is Delormo, Taskinen, Tuomanen, and Albert. They're your top 4. From there, it's Parise, Lånkebanen, Salas, Edmondson, Nunez, who have all jokered. Rafa's off the track, or off the pace, I should say. He still needs to joker, but he's not affecting anything as he's down there in 10th. So, waiting for joker lanes to happen. It looks like Parise might be able to make a move on Albert if he goes up a little bit further, makes up some more time, but getting pinched down to the bottom again by Lånkebanen. It's Vicente Salas. He has to go way off the track once more. He'll stay in 7th place as Lånkebanen going to try and put pressure on Parise up in front. 5 to go here in the feature. When is the next car going to dive into the joker? Look at the best lap of the race so far from Bo Albert. 35.905 as he works his way through turn 2.
He's a bit too far back to try and start worrying about catching up to Taskinen and Delormo. But what he is doing is allowing Taskinen to know that Delormo is not taking the joker anytime soon. Because if he does, he'll come out right behind Albert. And with the pace that Albert's setting, he will definitely be holding up Delormo. Not by being slower than him, but just by being in the way. If you're so close to a driver, especially in rallycross, it's so difficult to spot your markers and get the right lines through the corners. It does slow you down a considerable amount, so there's no ways that Delormo will be coming down to joker until the final lap, or until Albert takes his joker. So Taskinen knows he's not going to disappear off into the joker, and he can fully concentrate on catching the car in front of him, although he has just made a mistake into turn 4 now, and that's put him back a couple tenths.
Could this be Killian Delormo's race to win? He has 1 pole on the season, but an average finish of 5th in the feature. No feature race win so far this season for Delormo. Similar story for Otto Taskinen, although he does have 1 feature race win. Still an average finish of 4th in the feature. He's looking to improve that with a good 2nd place here today as Tuomanen Taskinen did come into the joker there. Tuomanen going to stay in 4th. Taskinen comes out right in front of him. Albert to 2nd. Albert not close enough to make a move on Delormo if Delormo jokers this time by. But as they come to 2 to go, expecting everybody else who has not jokered to come in on the final lap, which means Delormo is all but locked away this race win as we go to 2 to go.
He's got a nice healthy lead there at the moment. And yeah, Albert not close enough to try and make any difference there. Taskinen way too far back to try and make anything happen, although Tuomanen is now right on the back of him, so it's a good thing that Taskinen did end up coming out in front of Tuomanen. He still has to take the joker, of course, otherwise he could have been held up a bit. And Bo Albert now, he's actually starting to get a bit of a gap on Taskinen, and yeah, if that extends any further in these final couple of laps, that could end up causing some issues for Taskinen. Bo Albert had a pretty good run so far in this event, but it looks like you have to settle for 3rd as well on the white flag, and there goes Delormo into the joker.
Delormo jokers, Albert jokers. Where's Otto Taskinen going to come out? He comes out right behind your race leader. We could see a battle for the lead down to 4, but a bit of a mistake with the handbrake for Otto Taskinen and Black Star Racing through turn 2. They come through turn 4. It's not going to be enough. Into the dirt section for the final time. They'll come back down the hill into the final corner. They're shuffling for places further back. Salas goes for 6th on Lånkebanen, but at the line, it is going to be Killian Delormo walking away with his first feature race win of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Qualifying Series 2021 season, and contact across the line for Rasmus Tuomanen and Connor Parise. Tuomanen comes home 4th, Parise rounds out that top 5. And what a feature race we have had here from Lånkebanen. Rafas with the worst showing of the season and being 17th in the points, 1 spot above the cut line and only about 2 points to the good. This is not going to spell good times for Jacob Rafas. We'll have to wait for the points to update to see where he will be going into round number 5 at Phoenix. But Killian Delormo for Set Esports is going to walk away with his first feature race win of the season. And what a showing it was.
Absolutely, he's done a fantastic job out there in the number 2 Set Esports Subaru. Interesting though, because I didn't think that the Subaru would have much pace around here compared to some of the Beetles. Usually the Subaru is the slowest car here at Hell, but also the BOP has made these cars really equal across the entire season, across most of the circuits now. So very little difference between the cars other than how they drive, so very little pace difference as we've seen across the season so far, and results up on the screen then. Lobo taking that win pretty comfortably in the end.
He did get it by 8.5 tenths of a second at the line. Delalmo, Toskanen, Bo Albert rounds out that top 3 for the podium spots. Rasmus Tuomanen and Connor Parise rounding out that top 5. Tani Latimaki, Vicente Salas, Josh Edmondson, Luis Nunez, and Jacob Raffus rounding out the 10 drivers who took the green flag in the feature race tonight. And as we enter the post-race show, wait for a handful of our drivers to hop into our interview waiting room. Dane, it was a very exciting round, and I think this is what we expected really from Hell Lånkebanen. Always provides some great racing, and this is going to be critical now with 3 rounds left. If you're under that cut line, you gotta start getting serious. You need to put some ones in the win column because we have Phoenix, Sonoma, and Charlotte left, and that is it until 2022.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Phoenix and Sonoma circuits that have been almost into the start of iRacing Rallycross, but Charlotte at the finale. A couple of these drivers would have never raced at Charlotte before at this level. Maybe in some races against some of the lower ranked drivers in iRacing Rallycross, but at this level, there's only been one event, the All-Star Invitational from a few months back, and quite a few of these drivers didn't participate in it. So it's definitely going to be interesting that final round. The circuit did provide some good racing in the All-Star event. Hopefully we can get the same in the qualifying series. Arguably a higher caliber of driver in the qualifying series than some of the drivers in that All-Star Invitational. And yeah, coming up to Phoenix and Sonoma, those 2 circuits always give us fantastic racing. Cast your minds back to last year's qualifying series. Phoenix was probably the best race of the season.
We saw some great racing in the Phoenix Race to the World Championship Series as well, when the battle between Mitchell DeYoung, Johan Harth, and John Robertson really was decided for Team Yokohama in the World Championship Series, as Mitchell DeYoung had a disastrous race and I believe even missed the feature race there, so he didn't get points for that, and that solidified Team Yokohama going into Sonoma for the final round and walking away with that championship. But as we continue to wait for a handful of drivers, we'll give it a couple of minutes here on Apex Racing TV. We would like to remind you to head over to social media and give us a follow. Apex Racing TV, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube and push that notification bell to get notified each time we go live here on Apex Racing TV for another iRacing broadcast. Also, I'd like to thank a handful of our sponsors that help to put on each broadcast here on Apex Racing TV, starting with Virtual Racing School. They offer everything to improve your on-track performance in the sim with 50 plus data packs for both road and oval racing, along with setups, track guides, data analysis software, and one-on-one coaching. For more information and pricing options, head to www.virtualracingschool.com. Also, make sure you check out Apex Racing Academy because they have over 29 data packs to improve your performance in the sim, complete with setups, track guides, weekly group coaching sessions, and more. Apex Racing Academy is also integrated with Virtual Racing School, and for all pricing options and more information, you can visit www.apexracingac.com. We also like to thank SDK Gaming because they allow you to stream to Twitch with the most complete overlay on iRacing. Add a virtual live HUD, timing towers, enhanced relative boxes, mini-maps, fuel calculators, and more. You can adjust your team's strategy on the fly with our most accurate live timing in iRacing. SDK Gaming also works as a broadcast overlay for your leagues and series, complete with synced cameras for production and commentary. It is exactly what we use here on Apex Racing TV. For pricing options and more information, visit www.sdk-gaming.co.uk. Looks like we do have our feature race winner standing by with Dane Baird. Killian Delalmo now joining us here in the booth.
Well, Killian, that was a fantastic performance. Basically everything you could have asked for here for round 4 at Hell. Fantastic result in the heat, straight through to the feature, winning your heat, and then led from start to finish in the feature. That couldn't have gone much better for you.
Yeah, thank you for the race. I'm so happy for my first victory. During the first round, I'm not lucky. So with my team at Esports, I have really good work on the regular and on the race. So thank you to him.
Absolutely, and heading into the final 3 rounds of the season now, it's crunch time in the championship. A couple of circuits that we know and love in iRacing Rallycross, Phoenix and Sonoma, but then also Charlotte, which is one of the very newest circuits in Rallycross. What are your thoughts with the final 3 rounds of the season coming up?
Yeah, that's good because I like the next track, so this will go work a lot, and we will see.
And it must help being part of SDK Esports, obviously a massive team in terms of iRacing Rallycross. I think there's 4 of you at the moment competing in the World Championship Qualifier Series. It must really help being part of a large team like that. It must help getting out setups and stuff and practice before these events compared to some of the other guys who might be running it on their own.
Yeah, we have a really good team with Yone, Alexei, Tommy, Rasmus. We are good, good practice, good setup, so it's really good, yeah.
Absolutely. And do you think that you'll be able to make your way into the World Championship after the first 4 rounds? Do you think with the next 3 rounds, do you think you'll get that license and return to the World Championship next season?
Yes, I will try. Yes, I try my better for return, so we will go.
Well, Killian, thank you so much for joining us here on Apex Racing TV for a chat. Congratulations on both of the wins in the heat and the feature. Good luck for the final 3 races of the season. But before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Thank you a lot. Thank you.
Well, it was great to hear from Killian there, Josh, our feature race winner. And yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic performance from start to finish from him here at Hell. It's really expected from him. He did a fantastic job last season in the World Championship Series. It was a shame to see him drop out of the top 10, but really proving that he definitely is World Championship material.
He came into this race 9th in the points standings, looking to jump a little bit further up as the other splits finish up. Unfortunately, we don't have updated points for you right now, but we will have fully updated points for you when we go live for round number 5 in 1 week's time from the virtual Phoenix Raceway. And that is going to conclude our coverage here on Apex Racing TV of round number 4 of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Qualifying Series presented by Yokohama Tire from iRacing's virtual Hell Lånkebanen. For Mark Tranter down in the virtual production trailer, for Dane Baird, my colleague here in the booth, my name is Joshua Lee. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you in 1 week's time when we go racing from virtual Phoenix for round number 5.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala,
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke,
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong,
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
and many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.